Hey, what's up, Granger? Here in the NSi Industries booth with Jason Hicks. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
This is exciting.
So you're going to tell us a little bit about who NSi Industries are and some of the different brands that you have in Granger's assortment. So starting off with NSi Industries, please tell us about who they are.
Yeah, so NSi Industries is more of a parent company now, been around since 1975, and they are a collection of brands. So over the past few years, we've been acquiring multiple brands, very popular brands in the industry. Bridgeport Fittings is one of those brands. Polaris and other brands that are really known by contractors, and they're coming to NSi asking for those products because of those brands.
Excellent. So speaking of Polaris, why don't you walk through what Polaris manufactures and the types of customers that would be interested in Polaris products?
Yeah, so Polaris is manufactured in Tampa, Florida, so it's made in the USA type of product. And what it does is it's a pre-insulated connector, so it replaces a split bolt, which is connecting power. You have to take a lot of tape and a lot of time to make this big ball of insulation. So these are pre-insulated, so it saves a lot of time and money on the job site. They're extremely easy to use. After you take the plug out of the top, it's just a regular Allen head that you unscrew. The wire goes in, and then you tighten it down to the Tork specifications, and that's it. So it's really, after you strip the wires, it's a 5-minute job compared to a 25-minute job. And then for maintenance and repair, manufacturing locations, lighting applications, that split bolt, you have to take a wire cutter and you got to cut all that big ball of tape off,
Yeah.
and then you got to redo it. So again, for maintenance and repair, this is very, very simple, and it's our fastest growing product category right now at Granger. Anybody that sees it understands what the value and saving time and money on the job site, and they love it.
So you also have different sizes available. You have small, medium, very large for all different gauges of wiring. But what's with the different colors? You have clear, you have black here, you have some gray ones. What would those applications be?
Yeah, so this is the black was the original. So black and the clear vision tap are for dry locations, indoor locations, any type of lighting or motor applications, things like that. Clear is nice because you can actually see the conductor is seated and tight in the connector. So that's the main feature of vision tap. Polaris Edge is for outdoor and submersible, variable applications. So anything outdoors or outside is for the Polaris Edge would be the right product. And then Polaris Gray has the little gray caps on it, and that's for fine, extremely fine wiring. So,
Okay.
you know, small motor leads and things like that is where the Polaris Gray is used. And then we have, you know, multiple ports where your power comes in, and it can go to 2 different loads or 2 different pieces of equipment. So, again, just saving time on the job site by having one component that you're working with instead of multiple components. We have multiple sizes based on your wire gauge, even up to 750 MCM. So very large
Very large.
to very small. So we've got everything covered from A to Z.
All right, now getting into Tork and electromechanical time switches. Tell us a little bit about the different assortment of products you have there.
Yeah, so what we've got here today is basically shows the evolution of the time clock. The mechanical time clocks have been around for roughly 70 years. We still sell a lot of those time clocks, but people want more features. So now we have a mechanical that does 120 to 277 volts. So you got one time clock that covers all voltage ranges. To digital, a lot more features, a lot more benefits, to-the-minute programming, astronomical, a lot of other features. But now the latest invention is a Wi-Fi time clock. So this is the first ever 40 amp Wi-Fi enabled time clock. It actually talks to the cloud, so it knows temperatures, it knows humidity, wind, different things, so it can control your equipment. You know, if it's hooked to an irrigation system and it's raining, it knows that from the cloud, it's not going to turn on.
That's awesome.
How many times have you seen
Yeah,
it's raining and the sprinklers are going? Yeah.
Oh yeah. So is that new item in Granger?
It's a relatively new item, approximately a year.
Okay.
but everything you see here is in the Grainger catalog.
Okay, so all of these products have a Grainger SKU.
Yes.
Now you also get into some photocell controls.
Yes.
What would photocell controls be used for?
So photocells, are also known as dust to dawn controls, are used for any outdoor lighting. So lighting you see on the outside of a building mostly have a photo control installed to them. So it dusk to dawn, so it turns it on at night, it turns it off in the morning, you don't have to worry about it or touch it. The blue ones, the twist locks, are for parking lot lighting. So you see the big Cobra heads
on the top,
and it twists on top.
Yep.
These are all rated for LED lighting, and they have up to a 10-year warranty.
Ooh, that's
so that's pretty crazy. Usually, beforehand they had 1-year warranty, but they can handle all lighting types, halogen, incandescent, it doesn't matter. But with LED being more popular these days, those are the high quality photo controls that you want to use for those applications.
And now on to Bridgeport. So a newer acquisition of NSi, Bridgeport Fittings, made in USA. Tell us a little bit about what are some special features and any new products that Bridgeport has come out with.
Yeah, Bridgeport manufactures in Stratford, Connecticut. NSi acquired them roughly 4 years ago, and they do cable and conduit fittings. So it's not the conduit, it's not the boxes, it's just the fittings that connect the cable and conduit to the electrical boxes. They're really well known in specialty type products or proprietary products where they take something similar or standard and they just make it better and make it easier to use for the contractor. Again, saving them a lot of time and money. One product, for example, if you run all your wires into an electrical box and you forgot to put your lock nut on, normally what you have to do is undo all your connections, pull everything out and redo it, and then put the lock nut on. But with Bridgeport, with a breakaway bushing, you just go around those wires and tighten it up, and you save yourself a huge headache. Has a grounding lug for your grounding wire and everything. So when we show this to contractors, they're always saying, there's so many times where I needed that type of product. So they make a lot of products where it's a standard product, but they just made it better. One of the products that we're featuring at the show is a newer product to Grainger. Is normally you have to use a lock nut to connect your fitting to the electrical box. It takes a lot of time if you got a really big job using pliers and things like that. A better solution is a snap-in fitting. You're
Snap
done.
it right in, he's done. Versus having to put it in and put on a lock nut and screw it on. You did it 2 seconds.
Right, exactly. So if you're doing a big job, you're just snapping in fittings. This is grounded, this is bonded, it's UL listed. So when I show that to Grainger sellers, their customers, they love that. So that's been a really big hit this year.
Now, I said Bridgeport was the newest acquisition. That was false, actually. Your newest acquisition was Remke, correct?
Yes.
So talk a little bit about Remke, and that's the last brand that we have to talk about.
Yep.
So
Remke is, again, made in the USA in Chicago. They specialize in cord grips and strain reliefs, cord sets. What their focus is on having less strain on the wires and the conduit when it's installed into an electrical box. They have a lot of products for corrosion resistant. So they have nickel plated steel, they've got aluminum, they've got stainless steel. So a lot of specialty type applications. This type of product where the cord goes through it and that just holds the cord in place, less strain on the wiring and the conduit.
You don't have to worry about crimping or anything like that, and wires rubbing through. So.
Yeah, so they're a really great complement to Bridgeport. Together we just call them cable and conduit fittings. And you can actually order Bridgeport and Remke on the same PO. They're kind of, joining forces, so to speak. So, yeah, two great acquisitions, newer to the Grainger catalog, not new to the industry. Contractors know these brands, whether it's Tork, whether it's Polaris, Remke, Bridgeport. All the contractors know these brands, and they will ask for them by name.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you for walking us through NSi Industries and all the brands in Grainger. Thank you.
Thanks.